An employer that invests in the training of its staff will ultimately enjoy the benefit of having a well-trained workforce and increased productivity. Similarly, a well-trained employee with requisite skills will always enjoy the benefits of sustained gainful employment. Nigeria had been experiencing a dearth of skilled workers, especially artisans and industrial workers, since independence in 1960. In order to overcome this problem, Industrial Training Fund (ITF) was established in 1971 as a specialist agency that promotes and encourages the acquisition of industrial and commercial skills required for national economic development. To meet its responsibilities, a statutory contribution of 1% of annual payroll of liable employers and annual subvention from the federal government were prescribed as sources of ITF's funding. Whilst employers have continued to make their mandatory contribution, the subvention from the federal government has not been released since 2001. The Industrial Training Fund has, however, grown to become Nigeria's foremost training institution. Despite the multi-training approach to skills provision, organizations in Nigeria have continued to complain about skills gap in meeting their manpower requirements. This is due to the shift from colonial employment to the employment needs of the independent government from 1960. ITF has since inception been challenged to provide a world-class dynamic, need-based and quality-driven intervention for industrial skills training in Nigeria. To tackle the paucity of skills, ITF has developed and implemented tailor-made training programs to address specific skills gaps in the economy. ITF also introduced the Students' Industrial Work Experience Scheme (SIWES), through which students of tertiary institutions are exposed to the world of work before graduation. Despite these programs, organizations have continued to complain of skill gaps in employees, both at entry point and in service, especially engineering and technical skills. ITF established the Industrial Training Development Department to upgrade skills of employees, leading to the establishment of 3 industrial skills training centers at Ikeja, Kano, and Jos. The Industrial Skills Training Center, RSTC Lagos, offers 1 day to 14 weeks short-term skills upgrading broadening program and a 2-year diploma program in 6 selected trade areas, including welding and fabrication, electrical electronics, and computer engineering. The ISTC Kano conducts short-term skills training programs in agricultural machinery and equipment maintenance, motor vehicle servicing and maintenance. The center has gradually been upgraded to provide training in modern mechanical, electrical, and electronic services. The ITF Center of Excellence in Jos undertakes brainstorming sessions to produce the manpower training and development modules in over 100 specialized areas. ITF is the only training institution in Nigeria mandated by government to train and develop indigenous skills in such a wide range of areas in commerce and industry. ITF has the unique advantage of a national spread through its current network of 27 area offices that cover industrial training activities in the 36 states of the Federation, including the federal capital, Abuja. Since inception 38 years ago, ITF has acquired a lot of experience in human resource development. It therefore effectively utilizes this experience in developing and implementing its training programs. ITF has developed sustainable long-term relationships with the organized private sector. This ITF has done by deploying the right balance of direct training intervention and regulation by dedicated and seasoned professionals who are sensitive to the needs and commitments of Nigerian workers. These unique qualities have truly placed ITF as a world-class training institution in Nigeria. Motivated by the support of the organized private sector and the supervising ministry, ITF has sustained its tempo in training and development nationwide. The fund conducts research on manpower trends and industrial training needs to assist employers solve human resource development challenges. In 2007, ITF collaborated with the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association to carry out the landmark research on skills gap in the Nigerian economy. It has also carried out a study to appraise the impact of Students' Industrial Work Scheme in the national economy. Between January and October 2008, ITF conducted 50 in-depth diagnostic studies of SMEs in 31 organizations. Trainable and non-trainable interventions were made in the various organizations.
Your job as a security man requires that you update yourselves with the latest ways of combating crime.
ITF devotes much of its time and attention to developing short-term productivity and efficiency improvement and in-company apprenticeship training programs. ITF has also been involved with capacity building through micro, small, and medium enterprises development. It therefore reviews its training packages periodically to update and make them relevant to the needs of employers in commerce and industry. The reimbursement of training expenses of up to 60% of employers' training contributions is an incentive which the fund uses to utilize its overall objective of encouraging skills acquisition and training consciousness among employers. 208 training reimbursement claims were processed in year 2008, and the sum of 1,300 million naira paid to qualified employers. The Students' Industrial Work Experience Scheme was conceived in 1974 by ITF to bridge the gap between theory and practice of education among students of universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. Development of its personnel is of great importance for ITF to effectively carry out its responsibilities. Staff are given approval to attend long-term and short-term training programs at various institutions of higher learning across the country and abroad. These are in addition to the various in-house proficiency programs organized by the ITF Center for Excellence and other departments. ITF has a number of publications to provide needed information for use by ITF and its numerous stakeholders. In its efforts to meet present and future challenges, ITF entered into collaboration with organizations like NigerDoc, Shell and LNG, PTDF, MDGs, ETF, Crown Agents and World Bank, also with countries of Brazil, China and Singapore for internal capacity building, funding and establishment of skills centers. Industrial Training Fund has taken a giant stride towards rebranding and repositioning to turn it into a leading human capital development institution in Africa and beyond. As a deliberate strategy, ITF articulated a 10-year development blueprint which is anchored on the policy directives and objectives of the public sector reforms, Millennium Development Goals, and the National Economic Empowerment and Development Strategy. There are tremendous opportunities for ITF to leverage human capital development in emerging areas like information and communications technology (ICT), poverty alleviation and youth empowerment, skills development through the establishment of more training centers, oil and gas, solid minerals, health, safety and environment. From 2003 to date, ITF has conducted 3 management retreats and also subjected itself to critical performance analysis aimed at, amongst other things, determining areas that require improvement. The Industrial Training Fund has in the past 38 years successfully carried out its programs and activities in accordance with its statutory mandate. It is hoped that ITF will receive increased funding from government to enhance its capacity to provide industrial human resource intervention, particularly in the areas of industrial skills training and CWES. ITF management is reducing the bottlenecks and paperwork involved in the processing of reimbursement. ITF's expanding research portfolio places it at the heart of Nigeria's economic and social development. If one of the things that make a nation great and prosperous is busy workshops, then ITF is ready to make the good people of Nigeria a truly great nation.